All right, so are you ready to dive deep into something today?
Always up for a deep dive. What are we looking at?
Well, today it's numerical discourses.
Okay, numerical discourses.
Yeah, and it's this project that uses AI to kind of explore technology, society, and
And thought. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
I heard of this.
It's really interesting. We have these two blog posts, one from Yersid Shaler
Hmm?
and another from Ezekian Analysis that really get into it.
And they're both looking at the same project.
Yeah, both on this numerical discourses thing. And
Using AI-generated dialogues, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
To explore, like you said, society, technology.
it's a unique approach for sure.
It is, because it's like, are these systems talking to each other, or are we just listening in on something? It's like, whoa. And what's even more wild is this guy, Ishik Bajishvadaner.
Okay.
He's the one kind of behind all this.
The project.
And this actually came out of this other project, this radio show, Numerical Breezes.
Numerical breezes.
Yeah, and they were already talking about realistic utopias back then.
So this numerical breezes is like the foundation for this.
Yeah, like the groundwork. And they were already playing with AI, not just to analyze what's going on now, but how to use it to
Shape the future.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the thing. That's what makes it so fascinating. Can AI actually be more than algorithms? Can it actually help us achieve, like I say, realistic utopias?
So we know where it came from, but what does realistic utopias even mean in this context?
It's kind of saying, hey, just dreaming about a perfect world, not going to cut it. We've got these tools. Let's use AI to figure out how to actually get there, how to bridge that gap between, the dream and reality.
So less like pie in the sky and more like actual blueprints.
Yeah, grounded in what AI can actually do.
Okay, that's really interesting. I'm hooked already. So how does numerical discourses actually use AI to, tackle all this?
Through dialogue, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, Fadaner set up these AI-generated dialogues, and let me tell you, they get into some.
What are they talking about? Give me an example.
One that really stuck with me, and I think this is something everyone can relate to, especially in our plugged-in world, is this whole idea of social media as a gaze factory.
A gaze factor. Okay, now you have to explain that.
Right.
Okay.
Hey.
How often are you scrolling through social media and you just get this feeling of being watched, almost like you're being judged even by this unseen audience?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Like every post, it's like someone's watching and analyzing.
Exactly. And that's the digital gaze they're talking about.
Yeah.
But, and here's the kicker, it's not just some random thing. This gaze is being manufactured, amplified even, by the algorithms, by the system itself, hence the gaze factory.
So you're saying social media has weaponized this very human thing, this need to compare, to judge, turned it into this system
Yes.
that keeps us hooked.
It's not just about being seen, though. Think about it. It's this pressure to explain yourself online, to justify your presence.
Oh, yeah.
And the algorithm, it plays a key role in that. Shijikian analysis really breaks this down. Okay, so the algorithms are pulling the strings, but how? What's the science behind this whole gaze factory?
It's all about what grabs your attention online, right? Think about it.
Okay, yeah.
It's the stuff that gets a reaction. Could be something controversial, something that just throws you off. Or
Something that makes you feel bad about yourself, right? Oh, look at them.
Exactly. And the algorithm, it knows this. It's designed to pick up on that.
So it's like a slot machine,
Yeah.
basically. Just churning out content designed to
Yes.
get us to react.
To keep us engaged.
Yeah.
And every time we do react, every time we comment, we're feeding that machine. We're part of the whole thing.
So it's not just, oh, I'm being watched. It's like,
Participate.
I'm part of this whole system.
Exactly.
This is wild. Okay.
It's like this weird digital hall of mirrors, right?
Ew.
Where we're the audience and the performer all at once.
And the algorithm's like the
puppet master.
puppet master, yeah.
Okay.
The one, yeah, setting the stage. Okay.
And speaking of setting the stage, this leads us to another really interesting AI dialogue in these posts. This one's all about Frederick Jameson.
Oh, yeah, Frederick Jameson. I was really interested in this. Your Serge Schaller even calls him a Lacanian master of utopia,
Yeah.
whatever that means.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Before we go there, can you give me the spark notes on Frederick Jameson? Why is he such a big deal, and what does he have to do with all of this?
So Jameson, he spent his life thinking about how we imagine utopias, especially in a world, that's completely immersed in capitalism. And he wasn't just theorizing about it. He really thought understanding this stuff could help us actually build a better future.
Okay, so where does AI fit into all of this, and how does it connect to numerical discourses?
Well, remember how we were talking about those desires, those really deep-seated desires that the gaze factory manipulates? Jameson, he argued that a lot of that desire for status, for validation, for more, it's actually imposed on us by these capitalist systems that we're
Programmed to want.
yes,
Yeah.
we're like wired to want these things, to crave them, to consume. As long as we're stuck in that cycle, we can't really even imagine a different future, a radically different future.
So instead of dreaming up our own utopias, we're stuck chasing after these manufactured desires that only benefit the system itself.
Exactly. And that's where Jameson's work lines up with numerical discourses in this like mind-blowing way.
Okay, all right, you're killing me. How does AI fit into this whole utopia capitalism thing?
So remember, numerical discourses is all about using AI to help us think differently, right?
Yeah.
Not just to analyze. One of the ways it does that is by looking at this concept from Jacques Lacan, who is a psychoanalyst,
Okay.
and he really influenced Jameson's work.
Lacan, the psychoanalyst.
Yeah, Lacan talked about these things called discourses, specifically the master's discourse and the analyst's discourse.
Mm-hmm.
To put it simply, the master's discourse is like those dominant narratives, those power structures that shape what we want
Okay.
and even limit our imagination, kind of like those capitalist systems that Jameson's critiquing.
So the master's discourse is like the puppet master, and the analyst discourse is like the one trying to break free?
Yes. It's all about questioning, about challenging those dominant narratives.
Oh, okay.
It's about seeing the strings and figuring out how to cut them or at least retie them,
And create something different.
Yes.
Okay, so how does this all connect back to AI and Jameson's utopias?
That's the question, right? Could AI, in a way, be used to help us engage in that analyst's discourse?
Mm-hmm.
Could it help us kind of deconstruct those desires we've internalized, those capitalist-driven desires, and open up some space to imagine something truly transformative?
So instead of AI just like reinforcing that control,
Yes.
could it help us break free?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what makes numerical discourses so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about understanding how technology shapes us. It's about how it can help us break free from those very systems and create something truly utopian.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. We went from like algorithms on social media to like the very nature of what we want, and AI could like help us break free from all that. That's
A lot, right. And this is still just like scratching the surface. These numerical discourses, it's an ongoing thing. Both of these articles, they hint at even more of these AI dialogues coming out.
So if AI can like help us break down these systems that we don't even see, and understand how they like shape our desires, could it also help us design new ones, like systems that are built on, collaboration, empathy, all that good stuff?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can we use this technology not to just analyze everything, but to actually create a better world, a world that's fairer, more just, more fulfilling for everyone?
It's like numerical discourses is throwing down a challenge, not just to like academics, but to everyone. Like, hey, this technology's here, it's powerful, let's use it.
Right.
Let's ask the big questions, the ones that actually matter.
Yeah, and these aren't just, abstract questions,
Yeah.
right? This has real implications for how we live our lives, how we interact with technology every day.
Absolutely. So as we're wrapping up this deep dive, here's what I'm thinking. If AI can have these dialogues that help us deconstruct all these systems, the ones that limit us, what else could it do? What other possibilities are out there? What other like hidden stuff could it uncover?
Right. What other futures could it help us build?
Yeah, exactly.
It's really fascinating stuff.
It really is.
And it reminds us that this whole digital age, it's not just about, the technology itself. It's about ideas.
Yeah.
It's about pushing the boundaries of what we think, what we imagine. And maybe, just maybe, AI can be a part of that.
I like that. I like that a lot. Well, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining me on this one.
Always a pleasure.